Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. How y'all doing? Probably getting ready if you are somebody that celebrates Thanksgiving. Probably getting ready, cooking all the things, as the MLMers say, all the things. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys have had an awesome day. I'm really excited to be here with you guys today, talking more about Legend University. Before we can get into all of that, let's run a disclaimer real quick. Be right back. Okay. Oh, Legend University. It's going to be a wild time. In case you happen to be brand new to my channel, my name is Erin Bees. I am a wife, a mom, a military veteran. I spent 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing, healed my way out, and now I'm using all of my social media platforms to educate and raise awareness around the dangers of multi-level marketing companies and the tactics used by their reps. Today is going to be one of those videos where we talk about the tactics. There's going to be a lot of debunking, quick little update, the Cruella video that I did. Whoever, I don't know exactly who it was. Let me think about how I want to word this. Um, there were two people that I featured in that video, and I received a YouTube notification saying that there was a privacy, I can't remember the exact terminology, privacy concern or something like that, to which I responded quickly, thanks to the help of some of my friends, just kind of, talking about things and running ideas back and forth, that kind of thing. Anyways, to which I responded with all of their social media platforms where they present themselves as public figures. So that video is still up. There's some really important information shared in that video. So if you have not watched that and you have the time, um, you may want to check that out because there's some important information that comes specifically from um, people that were involved. That's how I want to say that. So, yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Fancy meeting you here, Jessica. I hope you guys have had an awesome day. This is going to be kind of a longer video. I think the video itself is 57 minutes. This is Katie Rollins that I'm reacting to. I'm not sure I've even featured Katie on my channel yet. Katie is one of the originals from, I don't want to say original. She kind of started on YouTube. She started doing reviews of Pruvit's ketones many years ago when Pruvit was fairly new. And that was kind of how she took off, was because one, the company was new and not a lot of people knew about it. And then she was using it on a platform where not a lot of people knew about it. So that's how she, in my opinion, one of the ways that she has become such a top ranking person within Prove It. Yeah. Anyways, there's going to be a very important reel or a TikTok that goes up probably after this live stream. So if you follow me on Instagram or you follow me on TikTok, you can look out for that. So, yeah, because Kendra McMurphy, who was featured on my last one, who presents herself as a public figure, by the way, actually messaged me on social media asking me to take the video down. No, I will not. So there's that. Anyways, extremely important, and Squishmallows. Blankets. I'm seeing blankets in the comments. I love that. University education is a scam. Goes to start a university. Yeah, everybody buckle up, get ready. If you have not already liked the stream, it'd be cool if you would, or thumbs down it. Doesn't matter to me. And if you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button. All right. And also check and see if you're in top chat, because I know sometimes people get stuck in top chat. So, all right, let's do this thing. Let me find the right setup and let's go.
All right, guys, I am really grateful to be here. I'm very excited to be kicking off week 2 of our Legend University schedule here. Did you guys get a lot of value out of last week? Drop in the chat what I mean, I know the last week feels like it was like a month away for some reason in my brain, but what was one thing that you got from last week that you're just like, love that, needed that, doing that? Drop it over in the chat. Friday will be on YouTube. Yes, the podcast will be up on YouTube this week. We did not have one last week. Christina, you're an angel. She dropped our private playlist.
Is it private or was it unlisted and the link was shared by many people? I mean, is it private, Katie? It may be private now, but I don't know. That's interesting that she specifically said that because it was not private. So that's kind of important if you're going to make a privacy claim.
Anna, I'm with you. And I'm like, okay, like we're going to have some amazing content today being trained to you. And I was like, I hope you guys are ready because I might eat 10 minutes of this with recognition because the fire has started and we're all out there doing the most already. So I feel like week to week, it's going to be just more and more and more. And we absolutely love shouting you all out. So I'm going to get started in just a second on that. Do me a big favor, guys, all of you with cameras off, turn the cameras on. So I adore Brian James. And I'm like, my feedback this week is if people don't have their camera on, we're not going to have them on the call. And here's the reason.
Oh, Katie, I know you're going to try and spin this in some way like, we want you to be fully engaged. I love you guys and I want to see your faces. We know it's just you trying to control the information. Because if the camera is off, you have no idea who's watching. I love that for us. Hey, DC. Katie Rollins was just telling us is getting ready to explain why it's important to have your camera on when you're on one of their trainings. Yeah, I love that for us.
There's a couple of reasons, but the main reason is because to do this, to train, and it's not going to be just me today, when we have trainers on, like this is virtual. There is literally only one way to exchange energy with those that are learning when we're taking our time to train, and we have to see your faces. And I understand it might even be you facing the ceiling fan, but
I mean, if you're looking for energy from people's faces, how are you going to get that if the camera is facing up at the ceiling fan? So I really don't think that's why you want cameras on. Note to self, when I sneak on these Zooms, make sure that my camera is facing up to the ceiling. Got it.
Sensation of like, hi, we're here to give and pour and lead, and we want to celebrate you and be here with you and help you grow. And it's a black screen with white letters. Like, that's not the vibe. And I understand that maybe that's how things have been done for years leading up to this point. But if we're going to go somewhere we've never gone, we're going to leave some things behind in the
Is that why? Or is it because there's a lot of people, a lot of creators, a lot of anti-MLM creators that are accessing your training and you're trying to control that. You're trying to control the information, essentially. Yeah, that's so interesting. Also, but a ceiling fan? A ceiling fan is the vibe? Cool. Got it. Right on.
company standard is we have our cameras on. So unfortunately, Mama Rollins has her grown-up pointer finger on today, and I'll just be popping people over to the waiting room without the camera on. So it's nothing.
I really love how she's trying to make it seem like it's a loving thing by saying Mama Rollins. There's nothing loving about that. She's just trying to make sure she's trying to see who is on the Zoom. That's all she's doing here. She's trying to control the situation. So wild. I love that she said that out loud, though. MLM No says, by the way, member for 8 months. Thank you for being a member for 8 months. I appreciate you. Us, people don't make money in your company and your ketones are trash. Them, prove it. Oh my God. Also, I don't know. That's hilarious. Thank you for that. And thank you again for being a member. The interesting part about this for me is that they call this Legend University. But when you look at Pruvit's own income disclosure statement for 2022, there were only 7 in the entire company, a very small percentage of people in the company. So they're calling this Legend University like, hey, we're going to teach you how to be legend. But the statistics and the data in particular from Pruvit shows that that's not going to happen for the majority of people on this Zoom with her. But let's call it Legend University. So people are hyped and, taking a bite out of that carrot that she's dangling. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Katie, that's not the vibe.
Thing personal, but be warned and make sure that if you have team coming on, let them know, and feel free in the chat. If you notice cameras are going off, we're all grown-ups. We can all hold each other accountable here and nicely say, hi, reminder, chat, camera needs to be on, because that's going to be my mission here. Okay. So
that's such an important mission. Imagine thinking that you are doing a business training, because that's what she thinks she's doing here. We know that Pruvit and a distributor within Pruvit is not a business owner. But let's just put our, role-playing hat on, if you will, for a moment. And let's just say that we're Katie and we are thinking, hey, this is a business training. And imagine having to control whether people have their cameras on or not, and trying to spin it like, hey, this is about the vibe. It's about the energy. These people are coming on and they're training you and they need that energy. Oh, by the way, if it doesn't have to be at your face, it doesn't have to be, on your face. It can be pointed up at the ceiling, because the ceiling is going to give the speakers the same kind of energy. Just imagine, on top of that, the way that she's talking to these people that are business owners, according to her, where she's like, we can be adults and we can remind each other. That is so condescending. That's wild to me. I don't know. Yeah. Also, what if you're pooping? Do you want the camera on then, Katie? I mean, okay.
you're 5 minutes in. I am done with approving people for this moment. I will come back.
Good point.
Coach Shar, it's okay. I like turn your camera on and have it facing the ceiling, or put it on your end table. It's just a matter of seeing who's here. That's the real reason I want to be able to see it. So let's jump in, because
So now she's being honest. She wants to see who's here, where before it was about the energy and the vibe. Now it's, hey, the real reason is because I just want to see who's here. Okay.
Today's training and this week is going to have, it's going to have a direction to it that I want to make sure everyone gets super excited about, because last week I know that we leaned in so much about the ownership side of our business, about
They would kick you off if you weren't in business attire. Oh my God. So people could have like a tie and a jacket or whatnot, like whatever business attire. I have to move this light. And they could have like no pants on, but hey, you're in business attire up top. That's so wild.
learning to take actions and leading ourselves for growing our business. Like, all of the training that we had last week was amazing. And there was something, Brian James is like, can I please join? There was so much amazing content rolled out last week, even in those 3 live days. And I know Thursday we've made a focus on, we are going to be building into our local environments. And just to make sure, how many people got eyes on the resource that Christina made for our local environments, that handbook? Have y'all ever seen something better? I need to we're going to jump into recognition right now. No, she's going like this, but that was phenomenal, because who still gets spicy pits when I think about doing community events? This girl who looked at that and was like, okay, wait a minute, because really, not only is this fun and is this going to grow my business, but that was incredibly well laid out, very simple. And what I saw when I looked at that handbook was how available the options are to all of us, despite our personalities, despite our gift zones, our strengths, because building in your local community does not have to be this overwhelming feeling if you're like me, and that kind of makes you a little bit nervous to do. The reality is there's so many different modalities and ways that we can do that. And this week, we want to really put a lot of focus on helping kind of peel back any layers of uncertainty on how it can be done, as well as peel back different reasons as to why the local focus is really important.
Katie, you just reached your word count. Well done.
I will tell you on Wednesday, there's probably going to be some training that I'm going to roll out. I do believe it's going to be a bit more towards social media, but it's also going to lean into the conversation around building locally too. So this week, you're going to get a lot of good stuff. So I'm really excited for that. We're going to kick off with that training in just a moment. But before we do, who's in the mood? I need to know. Let me see your teeth. Let me see your.
Okay, I was a little concerned. I was like, listen, this is not the Gucci Club. This is not the Gucci Club that I referred to in I'm laughing because yikes, this is not the Gucci Club that I referred to in the Cruella video. It's not that kind of vibe. It's not that kind of Zoom, Katie. This is not OnlyFans, okay? I was a little nervous for a second.
Fight your pearly whites. Who's in the mood to celebrate
Thanks,
some of
Brandy.
our team? To celebrate each other. And I would like to also give permission as you're listening to this, or if I get towards the end of shouting out some incredible people in our team, and you maybe didn't hear someone that in your team you know is doing the damn thing, I want you to go balls to the wall crazy over in the chat celebrating them as well. And as you hear people being celebrated, what we give, we have forever. So make sure you're giving them as much love and as excitement as you would love to receive as well. So we're going to kick off. Okay.
What are we recognizing here? People doing the most? I don't understand what we're recognizing here. Also, pay attention to the language. I have watched part of this. Pay attention to the language that she uses. Normally, when you are recognized at your job, it's for something very specific. So pay attention to the language here. She's not really recognizing people, or she won't be recognizing people for specific things, except I think there's one example where she is congratulating somebody for doing an in-person event or something along those lines. Everything else has to do with showing up, which is a big thing in Pruvit. You got to show up. You got to play full out. I know some of you that have been a part of Pruvit, you're like, oh, I hate that phrase. I get it. I get it. But they use recognition around showing up. They use recognition around playing full out. And that's not really anything that has to do with business as far as like analytical data. It's just, hey, you showed up. It's like a participation award, but she's going to spend so much time vaguely recognizing people. She is going to say their full names and stuff. And yeah, so.
This weekend, we had our playbook event in Atlanta, and I'm going to personally shout out a couple people that played real big there, that went and did the most. And also, I'm just going to tell you, as someone that's been behind the scenes with orchestrating these events for some time, just the simple act of playing full out and doing things on stage is a learning moment for everyone. And we all start off very scared, nervous, and sweaty doing it. But what I can tell you is what I've seen the growth in just these leaders specifically who have really played full out and supported in that event in so many ways already. Like, it's just absolutely the coolest thing to get to watch other people grow through this, because that's something that Pruvit gave me the gift of doing too. Melissa May was our host with the most this weekend, and she killed it. Like, her energy, I mean, she knows all the time because I tell her, so I'll tell you guys all the time. I don't know. I love our industry, and there are days when I'm just like, man, okay, all right, this is what I'm going to do today. And do you want to know what I do? I text.
Is that your lack of energy around the industry, as you're referring to? Is that why you brought Kendra and Brian Von James? And who else did she bring back? There was a third person. I can't think of the third person. Is that why you brought all of them back all of a sudden? Interesting. The timing of this, interesting.
Melissa May, and we start talking business, because Melissa May quite literally lights my soul up when I think about community-based marketing and what, like, the excitement she has for what we're doing in our company and in our team. Like, it is so contagious, and she was the perfect person to host for this weekend. So Melissa.
Why? Because she was going to do everything that you needed her to do without question. So Pruvit's term for multi-level marketing is community-based marketing. That's what they call it. Yeah. Multi-level marketing, they don't want to be associated with that. Network marketing, not so much. Social retail, no. Social selling, not so much. We're community-based marketing.
May, thank you so much for doing everything that you did for us this weekend. Chrissy Petty, Kelsey Giggy, we're on that stage doing the most training, and it would try.
How do we measure doing the most? What does that mean? Were they high energy on stage? Did they bring value? What does that mean? She says that a bunch of times, doing the most. I know what the slang phrase means, but we're talking about a business training. We're talking about something that has analytical data to measure whether your business is growing or not, or there should be. And you're recognizing people for doing the most? Are you putting that on like a certificate that you're printing out and sending it to them? I'm just kind of curious because weird.
File packs and social media, and guys, they brought it as they always do, but it's been really cool just to watch.
I love that
So
movie.
those of you guys that were there, just so you know, I remember the first time that they were on stage, just like I remember I was on the first time up there training, and other people that we've seen grow through it. And it's like anything else that you do for the first time. Sometimes you got to do it the first time, and it may not be your best work, but it gets easier and it gets better. And they are just killing it. And it was just so amazing to watch them. So if your goal is at some point to be contributing at a higher level, maybe at our company events, when you're watching other people on stage, I want you to think of yourself doing it. Pop that into your vision, into your visualizations that you may be having, because I know for a fact that was a big part of a lot of our trainers who are currently training. These were things that they focus on wanting to see themselves doing in the future. We also had...
She actually has notes that she's referring to. We are 8 minutes and 13 seconds into her video.
We had some panels during the event, and Samantha Demick and Trish Kalsevec killed it. They were up there. They gave the most. They shared. What I love the most about our events is when we do panels specifically, people just get up there and they tell everyone what's working. Like, we don't have secrets. We don't gatekeep here. And I think that is something very, very special that we do in the Pruvit community specifically. And they were not like given, hey, all this notice, we're going to have you do this for the event. It was like Friday night, like, oh, hey, by the way, come meet us up here, because, you know, you're going to kill it tomorrow, but we'd love to have you train. And they jumped right up. Mick Carrier was out there doing everything that Mick does from like an energy perspective, giving light and love to everyone, just being out there cheering for each other. Like, Mick's always bringing the most. He is a legend. We absolutely love him. Laura.
I mean, is he a legend though? Has he hit legend in the company? Is he one of the 7 that hit legend in 2022? Just curious, because he probably isn't. So that's interesting.
Langvin helped so much behind the scenes with Playbook, as well as helping with setup, doing all the things, running around, getting people excited, quite literally, as they're coming into the event, going freaking bananas, like setting the entire tone for people walking into the venue.
And how exactly is that going to help anybody move their business forward? If they're just a hype person, how does that work? Are they getting paid to be the hype person like you would if that was your job and you were on a stage with some sort of a performer, if you will? They would get paid for that. So this person that you're hyping up, pun intended, did they get paid for that? No, they didn't. And how exactly is that going to help them move their business forward? Oh, it won't. Got it. Cool.
Laura has always been phenomenal at that, but she's just really, really stepping up and leaning into that gift that she's got. Kim Holland helped immensely with setup. And that's the thing, is like all the unsexy stuff that has to do with getting chairs out and getting tables set up and making sure that everything is going to flow for the greater good of everyone.
That's part of an event. That's part of the event planning, is where are they going to sit? What are we going to cover? What is the schedule? That's a part of planning an event. So I don't understand.
And like, I love the idea of fairies just appearing and making that kind of stuff happen, but that's not not how it works. It's literally people in the Pruvit community that raise their hand to volunteer to do this stuff. And there's a lot of behind the scenes things that went into that environment to make it the vibe that it was. For those of you that were at the event, can you agree with me that that was probably one of the coolest venues we've had a playbook event? It was literally a nightclub that they just let us use during the day.
So it was cool for social media. Did that help people move forward in their business? Probably not.
It had mirrored podiums and bedazzled things, and it was absolutely the most fun. So let's recognize a couple other ninjas out here. Nicole Calvin, who also
Ninjas?
found out the gender of her baby and is going to share it with us before she shares with anyone else. MVP multiplier. I mean, I'm just making that declaration for her. There's no real pressure. I was giving her a tip if you weren't here in the beginning. I gatekeeped the gender of Hunter and made people buy ketones to find out. It worked really well.
That's gross. So you made people buy ketones to find out the gender of your baby. And you think that that's a good idea. That's so gross. Oh my God. Stop.
So you should do that too. But she already hit MVP multiplier, so she doesn't even have to do that this month if she doesn't want to. She's a beast. She's absolutely killing it. Erica Davis, who has been trailblazing since coming on board. She is still out there doing the most, leading from the front. She's been a huge.
This is like me reading off some of your comments and saying, congratulations, you are doing the most on this live stream, and just reading some of your names and saying, y'all are doing the most. What? This is not recognition. This is Katie trying to reach her word count for the day, I think.
Huge impact in her local community already. Erica, we celebrate you. You're doing amazing. Kim Kasozi, I love you. I know you personally. You have a lot of funny C's and vowels in your last name, and I always botch.
That is so rude. That is so rude to make fun of somebody's last name because you can't pronounce it. That is so rude. And we're supposed to be on a business training here. You have a bunch of funny vowels and C's. Ew. Ew, David.
It, but that you're amazing. I absolutely adore you. So she came out of playbook and took immediate action, guys. How many of you sometimes are overloaded when you leave the live events and you just kind of sit, you're like, well, I'm going to decompress for a little bit and then I'll make my plan. Not what Kim did. Kim went and immediately took action. She scheduled an in-person vendor show for herself. She reached out to a customer and a potential promoter, and they already set up a keto life party coming out of there. Y'all, my car is still warm from my drive back.
That is the most specific thing, or the only specific thing that she has recognized. Everybody else, it was super vague, other than they helped set up. They were the hype person at this event this weekend. This person is trailblazing. Yeah.
From Atlanta, and kids out there. Kim is out there with 2 local events already happening for herself and her team. And we're going to give you some great stuff today. That's also going to support those of you here who want to learn more about local events. We have some more ninjas happening over. Anna's got some trailblazers in her team. We've got Laura Saklos and Allison Maines. They've both committed to coming to Epic already. How many of you guys are coming to Epic?
Got to get to the indoctrination event. Otherwise, you might start using some critical thinking and asking questions, and they don't like that. Commercial cults and cults in general, they do not like when you start thinking for yourself and asking questions. They want to fill all of that with chaos, and you're going to dance around at these Pruvit events. I'm speaking from experience. I know many of you know that. You're going to drink a lot of ketones, which worries me. You are going to be lacking in sleep, lacking in food. Yeah, it's everything out of the bite model. They're controlling everything. And my favorite part, and that's sarcasm, is there's no schedule. There's no agenda that any of the distributors that attend or the promoters that attend are aware of. Brian Underwood will say it on stage so many times. Yeah, we'll be done when the outcome is met. Who knows the outcome? Only Brian. Yeah. So they could be there till 1 a.m. But who knows? We gotta meet the outcome.
Yay, hands. Okay. These gals already commit to coming to Epic, which is such a big deal. They have been showing up consistently. Both have hit rank 2 within 3 weeks in their business. Guys, that's like a big ass deal. So Lauren and Allison, we freaking love it. So exciting.
Rank 2 is a big deal. I mean, is that a big deal because not a lot of people even hit that? Is that a Freudian slip, Katie? I'm just saying.
Ashley Kohut out in Canada, who has already been doing the most. Well, guess what? She still continues to be doing the most and killing it. She's over on TikTok with her amazing videos. She's been so consistent. Ashley, you have been like the pace setter with energy for a really long time.
Why not just say, congratulations to so and so? They are really working efficiently on TikTok. Their videos about X, Y, and Z have been growing their audience. And she's having, or he or they are having a lot of conversations with people that are interested in the product. See how that's actual recognition? This doing the most and killing it, that's not really recognition. So
me, because I watch you. I just think that you're amazing. We have, okay, Sheila Schroeder knocked MVP out of the park already. Everyone, let's love on Sheila. How many, by the way, I know that other people have hit MVP. So if you know of other people that have hit MVP already and haven't been recognized for it, please drop it in the chat so we can celebrate them. I would like to report, I finally hit it. Am I still actively going for this dang harvest hustle promotion thing fall with I have one promoter that came in with a pack, not yet with the second, but I'm not done. I'm going to do it. We've got so many people that are running for MVP. She's hit it 2 months in a row. She also committed to the playbook event next weekend in Seattle. And her first promoter, Melanie Ann, has also committed to the playbook in Seattle event as well. Teamwork, baby. Love that. They're going to have an absolutely amazing experience. Those of you who have not yet gotten your tickets for Seattle and you want some of that connection and that in-person energy, you will get that next weekend.
Can we replace energy with indoctrination? You need that in-person indoctrination because, Katie, I feel like that's a little bit more appropriate. A little bit better of a description of what happens at Pruvit events.
By going to Seattle, like Brian said last week, this is not one of those things that like maybe if you have a great time, it'll feel worth it. It will feel not just worth it, but you will walk out of there already. You're seeing people that were in the Atlanta event and came out guns blazing. Let's go in. Brian James is going to be at Seattle. So like, I'm sorry, but I know for a fact I was dropping plans and hopping on planes anytime I had the ability to get into Brian James's orbit. So I'm going to encourage everyone else to do the same if you haven't yet. And it's also like, you're going to have a great time. And guess what? It's a tax write-off. Your plane ticket. It's a business expense. Like just.
Hey, Katie, it's still, you can say that it's a tax write-off, it's a business expense, but when you have a group of people in Pruvit that are not making any money and typically are losing money, I think the median income for all distributors in 2022 was just over $10. I don't have the income disclosure statement in front of me right now. I think it was like $10.38 or something like that for the year. So cute that you are saying, listen, it's a business expense, it's a tax write-off. But when you are pitching getting on a plane and hotel expenses and food to a group of people that are losing money by saying that they're a part of Pruvit and working for free, essentially, actually they're paying to work, in my opinion, that's kind of gross. Okay, for you that has a large team, although I have to wonder if her income is dropping, just like many other people allegedly in Pruvit have income that is dropping. I wonder if the reason that she activated, I say activated, but like brought Brian Von James back in, brought Kendra McMurphy back in, is because she was like, hey, we got to bring these guys back. Income is dropping, and we got to make something happen. So really interesting, that aspect of it. But somebody that has a large team and is making significantly more money than people that are losing money, according to Pruvit's income disclosure statement, easy for you to say, yeah, I'm getting on a plane, I'm hopping all over the world or all over the nation or whatever to go to these events to get around these people. But when you have people that are losing money and you are saying, hey, just put that on a credit card, that's just financial irresponsibility. That's just really gross.
Think about what can come out of that event for you next weekend if you haven't. And then we've got Deb White, who got on a plane by herself to come to Atlanta. This was her first event. Guys, that's a substantially enormous deal. Deb, seriously?
Do you know how many people attend training events by themselves for their careers? Many, I'm sure, have very real fears around that, and they still go. And I don't know. This is so weird to me, you guys.
Super amazing. Great job. Way to go. We applaud you, because that stuff is not easy, especially when it's the first time, especially if it's your first event, like just going and doing stuff like that. I don't know if you guys remember the first, but I do. And it was scary. I thought, and I flew across the country and I thought I accidentally joined the Illuminati. It's a long story. You'll hear about it at a bigger playbook event one day, but,
yeah, that's because you're in a commercial cold, Katie. And I think you probably know that by now, considering, didn't she come from Beachbody or something? Pretty sure she was in Beachbody. So she's not new to multi-level marketing. She may never call it that, but she knows how this works.
such a big deal. Okay, you guys, you're all amazing. And guess what? We have a call tomorrow evening. We're going to have our power hour, and there's going to be even loads more recognition that's going to go down over there.
Oh, on a power hour? This is a really terrible pause story. This is unfortunate. I am also somebody that my facial expressions, you guys comment on it all the time. So I'm sure when you guys pause the videos, I have some really unfortunate pause stories myself, and that's fine. But like, this is unfortunate. Oh, Kendra was in Beachbody. I thought maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Interesting. Yeah, we're still doing recognition, guys. 15 minutes and 28 seconds into her video.
It is, someone remind me the time. I think it's 9:15 Eastern time is when the power hour starts tomorrow. So hop on that call tomorrow, because you are going to be led very, very specific, simple but tangible things that are going to move your business forward. And then we're here for the accountability to share with each other. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow night. Wednesday as well, we're going to be having our Rank 10 mentorship call, where I'm actually going to be the one facilitating that training for you guys on Wednesday. It's going to be the same time as today's call, same link. Thursday, we get out there, busy being it, and we go do the local environments. Okay. And then Friday, there's going to be an incredible podcast interview that's going to be uploaded to our YouTube. I will not share just yet who it is, because I want it to be a surprise, but y'all are going to freak out because it's one of our favorite humans. It's going to be so good. And that's going to be uploaded to our YouTube playlist. So who's feeling good? Who's ready to jump into today's topic? All the spirit fingers. Show me spirit.
I'm sorry, spirit fingers? 16 minutes and 28 seconds. I guess now is when the training is going to start or something.
Spirit fingers. That's right. Yup. Okay. No one crash car if you're listening. Okay. I'm going to do my last minute little check around, see what's going on. Brittany, turn on your.
Make sure everybody has the cameras on. Guys, turn your cameras on so I know who you are and that you're not an anti-MLM.
Camera. Love you, Boo Bear. All right, Erica. I just saw Erica dancing. She's swaying. She's ready. Okay. So the thing is, coming out of any in-person event that we have, I swear to you, not only do I come home and say, that went too fast, but I always say, I wish that there was more. I wish that we had more of them. Like, I literally come back from any of our coming together moments, and not only have I learned something, but I have felt that connection, that buzz, that feeling that I get every single time I get to come together with the Pruvit community, people in my team, you guys on these calls, the people outside of our team, because it is that transfer of energy, right? And I think that Zoom existing is amazing. I think Wi-Fi, the fact that we can even do these, like, blows my mind, that we can just still meet together virtually. And so happy that we are working in community-based marketing in the day and age where you can just click a button and hop on and learn and be around. But it's not the same as when you're with other people. Do you guys agree? For those
Oh, so the Pruvit events, according to her, have nothing to do with business and everything to do with energy transfer. That is, in my opinion, that sounds exactly like indoctrination. We're going to dance until we're tired. We're going to drink ketones so that we can keep dancing. We're going to be exhausted. We're not going to eat a whole lot. And by the end of it, we're going to wish that we had more. You know what is really annoying about Pruvit events? Two things. Number one, I don't know if I've even talked about this before. They have the same playlist at these events. They play the same songs in between sessions, in between not in between, at the events. They play some of the same songs over and over and over again. If you've been to a Pruvit event and you feel comfortable, let us know in the comments. The other thing that is really gross, allegedly, of course, at Pruvit events is at the end, they do this dollar drop thing where you hold up a dollar and they do this whole like mindset, not a meditation, but something along those lines. And you're thinking about the people that are going to be coming and cleaning up after everybody at the Pruvit event. And it's been alleged to me that that money doesn't always go to the people, the hotel staff, or wherever the event is. It doesn't go to those people, allegedly. And I'm using protective language for a very real reason. No, some of the production team at times in the past, allegedly, are the ones that picked up the money. So all these distributors that think that they're doing something for a complete stranger that is going to come in and clean up the room after the event, and they're like, wow, this is a really cool way to bless somebody else, which if that were the case, that would be like a really cool thing. Some of the production team allegedly are picking up the money from these distributors that the majority of them, based on the income disclosure statement, are not making any money with Pruvit, that are coming out of pocket to bless somebody else. The other thing is the production team is getting paid more than likely that entire event. So why do they need that? Disgusting. And again, all of that is something that has been alleged to me. Gross.
Those of you that have been to in-person events, right? And so the funny thing about that I have found as a person is if your entire personality is not getting in front of other people, there's a lot of ways that our mind will kind of make up little, not stories, but little reasons and ways that you can talk yourself out of creating these local opportunities to get together, not just with potential customers or potential promoters or promoters in your team already. But the thing is that for us, like as people, just so you know, we are actually supposed to be around other people by design as human beings. Love this. This is not actually how it's supposed to be. Okay. We exchange other people and we learn and we grow. I get physical, literal energy when I'm around other people. I can stay here all day long and I can just coast, or I can be around other people and I can light up and I can see different parts of my personality and my strengths turn on that I'm like, crap, if I didn't leave the house today, that wouldn't have happened. And the thing is like the fact that as human beings, we're supposed to be out there amongst other people. Let's think about if we're making this a focus in our literal business and making this part of our strategy, how much further we can go and faster. And what I like the most about the conversation around coming together as communities and coming together and creating opportunities within our team to create that stickiness and that fun together is that the more that we do it and the more that we make it simple and the more that we make it fun for ourselves, it shows other people how fun and simple it could be for them. And the promoter conversation, the possible objection that they may even have around, I couldn't do what you did because you just put together this like 5-scale event, which is not what we're teaching you today. When we keep it as simple and as fun, but as outcome-based as possible, so no one feels overwhelmed and you walk away from there, the way that we can collapse time within our business is unhinged. It is powerful. And so,
I mean, it is unhinged, but I don't think in the way that you think it is, Katie. I just had to pause because it was like, when is this going to end? She's just gonna keep going. And I don't know. I just needed a minute. That was a whole lot of words without really saying anything. So
the reason that we're going to make this the focus today is, well, I was in conversation with who's going to be training us today, which, by the way, adore her online. But once I got to really spend time person to person with her, not only was I just like, okay, everything I thought about Abby Summers was true, but being around her energy, I understand why people crave it
hey,
and
Shelby.
want to be around her within her team. But it's like the more that we make this the focus and the more that we expand upon making this like benchmark activity within our business, the more we're going to show other people how to do this as well simply and create these fun environments. I think I forgot my train of thought where I was going with there, but regardless, guys, like
we know
the energy exchange is what it's all about. But in truth, from a strategic building your business standpoint, creating as much momentum in your business by creating as many opportunities for you to get with other people and other people to be around you is a fast track way to start here, start wherever you live, and find your team on the other side of the country. And you didn't have to do things to make that happen other than you focusing on building where you are and then teaching people that come into your team how to build where you are. But I can tell you from personal experience, it's challenging to teach people things that we're not doing ourselves.
No, this is not sped up. Yeah. Also, Lavender Rain, I apologize. I saw that you became a member earlier. I missed that. So welcome. I'm so glad that you became a member. That's awesome. Attendance must be non-existent at these events. Well, the last event that I saw, I don't even remember when this was, several months ago. I was actually shocked at how empty that room was. Because when I was a part of Pruvit, the events, they were packed. And it's not like that anymore. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people leaving. That's what I'm hearing. And getting out. So, yikes.
You can learn it, but you don't know it. We don't know it. And we're not able to properly communicate it if we're not doing it because we don't know how to overcome certain things that people are actually going to deal with out there. And so it's just like anything else. We kind of have to do it to get good at it or to get even remotely close to not bad at it. And with
To summarize what she's saying, she's telling people you've got to do in-person events so that you can deal with these real-world objections that you may face from these people that attend the events. You won't learn that unless you do them. See how easy that is? Small word count, direct. Come on.
time, it gets simpler and it gets easier.
Oh,
and
God.
Abby Summers is, I need to make her a co-host. I totally forgot. Someone that, oh, wait, no, not a host. I'll be able to unmute. Yeah, but you'll be good. She is someone that doesn't just make people feel good when they're around her. She is someone who has strategically created opportunities within her business to be around people, to help people feel seen, to feel the community, to feel how fun and simple it is what we're doing. And because of that, she has ride or diers who have been here within her team, who will be here, who are bringing in ride or diers, and makes it incredibly simple to get them to come to events, to get them to invest, to come to Epic, to get them to do all the things that maybe if you're in your head, like, I'm trying to get my team to go to these events, but no one's going. Well, the reason is when stickiness isn't always established, it is harder than when you've got this real face person to person conversation or connection with people. So, with that, I don't want to continue to just circle around here because I want to give Abby
Ramble?
as much time as humanly possible to train on us.
You want to give as much time as humanly possible, yet you spoke you spoke about absolutely nothing for 22 minutes and 52 seconds out of a 57-minute training, but you want to give people as much time to train. Am I hearing you right, Katie? That's absolutely wild.
Today. Abby, you should be able to unmute, hopefully. It won't let me make you co-host, which is what Brian was dealing with last week. And I'm like, no way. I'm like, oh, way. But we'll fix the
It's
setting.
okay. You're not alone.
Are you there,
For
Abby?
sure.
I think I hit ask to unmute. Just type if not.
There we go. I was like, it won't let me unmute. All
Awesome.
right. Awesome. Well, thank you, Katie. You're just the best, and I love you so much. So those of you who don't know me, my name is Abby Summers. Used to be Smith on here, so if you've seen that all the time, that might ring more bells for you. It's actually our 2-year wedding anniversary today, so the
Happy
name
anniversary.
is
That's
sort
cool.
of new, but I didn't change it on socials. So, and I've been drinking and sharing ketones for over 6 years now, so very, very much kind of who I am, what I live and breathe and do for the better half of a decade, right? Like we are past the halfway point of a decade doing this. And when I look back at the points in my business where things really surged, it's when I have been super hyper focused on local environments. And so that's what we're really going to dig into today. And again, I know Katie mentioned this, but Christina made the absolute best local environment kind of PDF. So please, please go check that out. The very top of it even says start local, go global. I
Oh
think a
my
lot of
God.
times people think, oh, I have social media, so I want to build in this country, but how do you do that? Or even different states. You start where you are. You start with the people that you have proximity to, and they might know someone who knows somebody. Or because of that, maybe you post pictures with them, someone else follows you that is in a different state or is in a different country, right? There are so many ways that we can connect with people, but I'm a really big fan of starting local. Kelsey Giggy is one of my best friends and also my business partner, and we do a ton of local events together just because, again, we are in business together and we live within about 40 minutes of each other. So we've done a lot of local things over the past 6 years together, and we have so much fun building locally. And you guys, if you are not doing this, not only are you missing out on a huge component just of your business, but I promise you, you're missing out on something really fun too.
The wild part about all of this, when you do these in-person events that they're talking about, you have to have ketones on hand that you mix up, and you're oftentimes giving away to people that are attending. And that costs people money. That costs, again, the distributors, the majority of people in Pruvit that are not making money. You're asking them to buy more ketones to give away for free. So they're paying Pruvit in a sense to advertise for Pruvit. That's crazy. Then if there's any kind of fees or, like rental fees, or if they're doing it in restaurants or whatever, and there's more, if you're buying a meal or providing catering, depending on how crazy you get with this event, these are all things that are going to come out of pocket from the distributor. So these people that are doing the training are some of the top in the company. That's not a compliment, Katie Rollins and Abby Summers. In case you are watching, that is not a compliment. That just means that you have a lot of people that, in my opinion, you are taking advantage of financially, amongst other things that I have referred to in the past. And they're making money off of their teams. So it's very easy for them to say, yeah, Kelsey and I, we're doing these events together. It's so much fun because they're at the top of the pyramid. So them providing, a box of ketones for a group to try them, not a big deal. But for the majority of people in Pruvit, that is a big deal. That's more cost out of their pocket.
And I don't know about you, but when I'm doing things that are fun, I feel more energized to do everything else in my business. When we think about local environments, there's a lot of things that we could hit on. And again, thank you for putting that link in the handbook link in the comments too. There's a ton of things listed in that handbook. I'm going to talk about some of the ones that I do the most and that I feel like I have the most expertise on to share with you guys. And I also think some of these are the easiest to implement. So if you are brand new and you've never done, and I say new, I mean you've just never maybe done a keto life party, that's a really good place to start. So I'm just curious, give me a 1 in the chat, maybe if you've hosted a keto life party, and give me a 2 if you never have, but you want to.
A keto life party is just you mix up ketones, you talk about ketones, you talk about the opportunity, and then everybody leaves. You try to sell some trials, try to get people, to order some products. That's all. Maybe you provide some keto snacks, but I remember when they came out with this term because we were doing local events here in Vegas with some of the other distributors in the area. And when I went to a training and they're like, yeah, we're going to call these keto life parties. I don't even remember who I was sitting next to, but I was like, I'm not calling them that. That sounds really dumb. I shouldn't say dumb. I don't like that name. It feels like they're trying to make it sound uh, more extravagant than what it really is. And it's like, oh, you come to the event, you have a couple snacks. We're going to Zoom somebody in or FaceTime somebody in. They're going to talk about their business and the success that they've had, and my name is so and so and I've been selling and drinking ketones for X number of years, and all of this is because of Pruvit. Well, no, it's because of the team that you've recruited. Gross. And then they have everybody mix up some ketones. They tell them the buying options. Yeah, that's essentially what this is. And they're trying to make it sound like, oh, it's this magical thing. It's really not. Not at all. I hated that term. Ugh.
All right, I'm seeing lots of 1s and I'm seeing some 2s as well. So my goal here is if you're number 1 and you've done this in the past, I am hoping that you feel inspired to set one of these up after this call. And if you're a 2 and you've never done it before, I sincerely want to impart to you guys how simple this gets to be. It does not have to be something that you stress out about or anything that makes you feel like you can't do this, because you absolutely can. So a keto life party in the traditional sense, you can make it as complicated as you want, right? You could say, oh, I need to have the Pruvit banners and I need to have decorations and I have to have like all these things. And you know what? You absolutely can do all that. And it gets to be really cool if you do. We've done them that way, where we have the banners and we have the fancy things and we maybe have like a little bowl with giveaway prizes. And you can have people Zoom in if you have a mentor or COC upline that can come in and, edify, give that kind of third party validation to what you're doing. Yeah. It can be all those things. It also can be as simple as I have 2 new customers in the area that have only done a trial pack. And I say, hey, do you guys know anybody else who'd want to drink ketones? And they just bring each a friend. And we have 4 people at my house. It can be that small and that simple. Or again, I've had it where we've rented out entire rooms and had keto life parties with like 45 people. It can be either of those, right? It doesn't have to be that in your brain you're telling yourself, oh my gosh, if I host this, I have to find some place to rent and I have to have every single flavor and I have to have banners and I have to have you absolutely can. But also, if that's holding you back, why not start smaller? Why not have something where you can just dip a toe in the water? And the only goal here is to help people try ketones. It's literally
That's the only goal. The only goal is for people to try ketones at this, or the goal is to sell them ketones and or recruit them. I mean, let's really call this what this is. These are people that are distributors. They're contracted workers with Pruvit. They make a commission when they sell product. They make a small commission when they sell product, and they make more money when they recruit people. And the only reason that they are zooming in somebody that's higher ranked than them is for that social proof. Like, hey, look at what you have access to. And it's such a sham. The reason that you're having these keto life parties, which is a ridiculous name, is because you are trying to sell them a product and you are trying to recruit them. Let's just call a spade a spade. We're just trying to get people to try ketones. Yeah, why? Oh, because you're trying to sell them ketones and you're trying to recruit them. Why not just call it that?
Really that simple. So you need shaker cups, you need some packets of ketones. I personally get, there's like a 200 pack of little plastic shot glasses from Party City that's about $7.99.
Which is not a big deal to you, but to a distributor that's not making money and has rented out a room or has made food, whether it's snacks or like a meal or whatever, all of this adds up quickly, plus the cost of ketones. So she's laughing it off like she's trying to keep it lighthearted, but these people may or may not even be aware that they're not making any money. They're being taught, hey, this is an investment. This is an investment. See where you're at in 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years. And the whole time that they're ordering more product in order to do these keto life parties, the upline is making money off of them.
They always say to me when I leave with that, they're like, "Oh, you must be having a fun time." I'm like, "Not the time you think I'm about to have, but yes, I am going to have a fun time." Um, it can be as simple as you just have the bare minimum things and you're keeping it just easy breezy. You're inviting people over, whether it's to your home, to a coffee shop, to a park, and you're just shaking some stuff up to try it. You also can call things, you can call it a keto life party, but if you're hosting a lot of these and you want to switch it up, you could call it, you could do kind of different themes. So you can do a sip and social if you want it to be more of like a we're hanging out. So sometimes I'll call them a sip and social. You can call it a mix and mingle, and that can be a mixology one. And I'm just giving you guys ideas, right? These are just thoughts, right?
Wow, so profound. I've never heard any of these ideas prior to this.
We've done entire ones that are like a mix and mingle, and we market them as a ketone mixology session, and we teach people how to make mocktails with their ketones. So take some lime time. Here's how we get.
So you have to buy even more supplies. The ketones, the snacks, the cups that you're putting them in, and also whatever ingredients for the mocktail that you're making.
That to taste like a margarita for you. Like, come hang out. Let me tell you what gets people to show up. It is that. Keto drop-in, someone posted in the comments, sip and stroll for her walking club. I love that. You can also call it a ketone tasting party. So we know in our community it is a keto life party, but how we market it to people and how we share about it gets to be however you want it to be, right? Um, and I think again, it can be as extravagant as you have all the things. It also can be as simple as it's just you, your ketones, and people are trying them, right? So, some things that are important, I think, when you're there is for sure when people are there, if they choose to buy from your website, offer them a coupon, right? We now get those $20 off coupons every single month. You get 3 of those, and we have unlimited $10 off coupons, but you also have your points and you can make coupons for people too.
And I bet the distributor that gives these people the coupons, I bet they get paid even less commission on them. I bet that's how that works. Also, Lavender Rain says, imagine going to a sip and social and getting ketones instead of alcohol / mocktails.
So those are really great ways to reward people for
Write it
showing
down.
up. What do we always say? 90% of life is showing up, right? So what can we do to reward people who made the step to come in person? And then the other thing that I would share too is there are different types of keto life parties that I would host. And so by that I mean there's a traditional one that truly is this is for newbies who want to try ketones. But also, I'm trying to target my current customers and new people with more dialed in ones. So let's say a brand new keto up flavor launches. I'm going to want to host a keto life party just to try this.
Those are expensive. I think a pack of, if I remember correctly, obviously I don't have the website up right now. Prices could have changed since then. If I remember correctly, a pack of 24 of these are $187 before shipping and tax. And you want people to order the new flavor, which I've talked about before. There is heavy emphasis from uplines in Pruvit for their distributors, their team, to order the new flavors. Get a box of caffeinated and uncaffeinated. You never know what your customers are going to want. So this person is saying, hey, order this $187 of product if that's the current price. And again, I'm not sure if that has changed. And we're gonna try this. And then I can guarantee you what a lot of the people at that party are going to say, "Oh, wow, this is great. How much is it? How much is it?" "Oh, you can get a 12 pack for X price. You can get a 24 pack for $187." You know, most people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm good with the energy drinks, that I can get from wherever they get their energy drinks." Like, come on.
Like, hey, we have a brand new flavor launch. I just got my hands on it. Who wants to come and try this? And you can do that with every single new flavor that comes out. Every time you at least have one packet of a new flavor, you can host a small keto life party for that. And the fun thing about that is if you have customers that are local, you are making them so sticky by continuing to see them in person and continuing to let them try these new flavors. When I do that, the amount of people that go and buy boxes and boxes and boxes of the new flavor because they just got to try it is astronomical compared to people that just have to roll the dice and hope they like it, right? People love to do trials. And yes, you can sell your 3-pack trials. You can do whatever you want. Of course, this is an and conversation though, right? I'm not telling you, oh yeah, either or. This gets to be an and.
This is a good question. I think when they are talking about sticky business, meaning these people are going to stick around. So I think Katie talked about sticky team members at the beginning, distributors that are going to stick around for a long period of time. Not just like somebody that joins and stays for 6 months, somebody that is around for years. Which I think if we're going to look at the analytical data, it'd be fascinating to see the turnover rate for distributors and the average time that the majority of distributors in this company stick around. See what I did there? Sticky, that would be interesting to see. But what she's referring to here is customers that are going to continue to order and are going to come to the events and that kind of thing. I think that's why she's saying that. Also, I don't know if you can hear the dog barking. Houses down or whatever, but if you can, I apologize. Really nothing I can do about that while I'm live. Sorry.
Conversation where yes, you can offer those 3-pack trials, but also for local peeps, why not offer them an opportunity to come and hang out with you and try it from you personally? Because I guarantee that energetic exchange of them being in person with you, it creates more stickiness as a customer. It might get them excited about the promoter opportunity when they see how simple and casual you are making it. Because when it isn't a giant production, more people are more likely to say, oh, I could do that. This is easy. She's just hanging
I'm glad you guys can't hear the dog because I can't. Actually, no, I can't hear it anymore.
out and pouring drinks for us. I could do that. My goal is that people think it's easy because it does get to be if we don't make it too hard. So what do I do to share about these events and what could you do? There's a lot of different ways,
A Facebook
right?
event. Watch, here it
So
comes.
one thing I love to do is make a Facebook post or Instagram story, Facebook story, whatever. And it says, who is within driving distance of Madison, Wisconsin, where I'm at? Who's in driving distance of Madison, Wisconsin and still hasn't tried my magic ketone drink? I am planning a free tasting party for whoever wants to come. So the goal of this is I'm telling them it's free. So just like Freebie Friday, you get some random people that kind of come out of the cracks when you say something is free. That's another reason Freebie Friday is fun. We're not going to get into that today, but this is using that same logic of when people know something.
Freebie Friday is a marketing ploy. And what they used to do, and again, I don't know if they still do it this way, but what they used to do when I was a part of Pruvit was they would send out, hey, we've uploaded a video on YouTube, a short video, and what you had to do was answer the question. I think it was in the video description, and you had to answer it fully from the video. So you'd watch the video, there'd be a question, you answer the question in the comments, and then they randomly picked people from the comments, and you had to email them. So you had to monitor if you won or not, and you would get free ketones essentially. And I don't remember how many people they give them to, but it's just a way to get more interaction on the YouTube channel. Yeah, that's how that works.
Free is on the line, people raise their hands that otherwise would not raise their hands. So when you say, I'm hosting a free tasting party, I'm hosting a free whatever, suddenly you're going to get more comments of people, story DMs, whatever the case. And I always say, not just who's in this town, I say who's within driving distance of this town. And sometimes if I want to be even more vague, I will literally just post who is within driving distance of Madison, Wisconsin. And I will just see who is close enough. And then I will message them and be like, hey, I saw you're within driving distance of Madison. Would you want to come over and try some ketones? I'm going to have a bunch of them for free at my house. It's at this date and this time. And then
see, but that's a little bit deceptive how she worded that. I'm going to have a bunch of them for free at my house. That makes it sound like people are going to be able to leave with ketones for free. I could be reading into this. I could be very wrong, but as I'm watching this, that's what that made me think. I don't know. Also, getting an invite from somebody to come over to their house from the internet.
you know, they might say, oh, what are...
Also, I'm going to add this. I can't believe that I used to do many of these things and how dangerous this could be. Ugh.
ketones. I'm like, oh, funny you asked. Let's talk about that, right? And you can get into the play that works. You can talk with them more.
The play that works.
If you make a Facebook event, which has been really helpful for us in the past, just to like manage a guest list, my biggest tip there would be don't just mass invite people without talking to them. That doesn't feel very good, right? Like if I just create Abby's ketone party and I randomly invite 100 people, but I didn't talk to any of them, that now feels spammy. Versus if I message Katie and I say, hey, Katie, I know you've been commenting on all these Freebie Friday posts. Look, I'm having some of these ketones also for free at my house. What do you say you drive on over? If it sounds interesting, I'm going to shoot you this event invite, right? Getting her buy-in before I'm just blanketly inviting her to something, I think is really powerful. People then feel like, oh, Abby invited me, like herself. It's not just I'm one of 100, one of 50, right? That feels a lot better. And when we're doing in-person things, how people feel is a big deal. People that you can also go through, anyone local who's liked any post you've ever made about ketones. Hey, I noticed you've been liking these a lot. Have you been interested in trying them? Because I'm going to offer an opportunity to try them for free this Sunday at my house, this Thursday after work, whenever you're hosting it, right?
So dangerous.
It can be that casual and that simple. And if you don't have a home that can host people, I've hosted these in tiny apartments, I've hosted them in houses. You can host them outside. You can host them at a park. You can go to a coffee shop. You could find someone on your team who can host with you, right? The other thing that I really do focus in on is using my customer group specifically for when there are not only new products, but another thought that, again, if this interests you, this could be an idea. Let's say all of your customers are hardcore, they love ketones, and they all are drinking ketones. But we have a lot of other things, don't we? So who would like to sell more support products and not just ketones? Like,
yeah, how did that keto food work out for y'all? Not very well.
me too. What if you were to host a keto life party that was just for our pro, right? Just for protones. What if you were to host a keto life party that was just for keto up, just for keto kick, just for keto cream, right? How fun would that be to let people try the products that they maybe weren't investing in before, that now they got a taste and they're like, gosh, that's really good. I can't go without that keto cream. I'm going to need that.
Except you can. You don't need to drink ketones. So,
But the whole event was based around trying 5 different flavors of Pro or 5 different flavors of keto cream, right? How fun is that? And that gives you variety when how you're talking about things, right? But it also gives your
remember the bleach pens? I think they had bleach pens too, if I remember correctly, but the Pruvit lint rollers? Yeah, I remember that. Mhm. Unreal. So when they say support products, they're talking about like keto cream, they're talking about the reboot kit, they're talking about the 10-day challenge kits, and they may call these things something different now, but it's essentially different products from Pruvit that they're trying to get people to add to their orders monthly. That's essentially what this is.
existing customers more things to purchase. So you're getting more out of the current people you're already working with. And also, if you're posting about that publicly, there might be some people that haven't been interested when you've just posted about ketones and better energy or whatever, for whatever reason. But you suddenly post about a coffee creamer, you suddenly post about a protein, and they are interested.
A protein, you say? She's talking about the protons, and the last I checked, there was like 6 or 8 grams of protein in the protons. Most traditional protein drinks that you know mixes have anywhere from 20 to 40 grams of protein. So the fact that they're calling a 6 to 8 gram, because I don't have it in front of me right now, um, drink packet that you mix up as a protein drink is wild to me. That's not enough protein. No. Oh my god. Also, there are many other options for coffee creamer that's not as expensive as keto cream. Many of which have MCT oil in it, which the keto cream does. It has MCT oil in it. I can't remember what else it has. There's many options out there if you are somebody that is eating, keto or just high fat or whatever, that isn't as expensive as Pruvit. We know that MLM products are overpriced because they want to incorporate the payouts to the top distributors into the price of the product. There's many other options. I happen to be a fan of the Fairlife skim milk and some sugar-free, coffee flavor, syrup, whatever, and it works just fine, and I'm getting way more protein. So, I'm a fan of that. If you guys are coffee drinkers, I would love to know what your favorite combination of coffee and how you doctor yours up. Let me know in the comments just for fun.
And they do want to come. And now they're in your home or whatever local environment you've created, and you can talk about ketones too, right? See how that kind of works where you can start with one thing and it opens up to quite a bit of other things too. The other thing I wanted to hit on is events just aren't for your customers. I am a big believer that part of what builds a really strong team is doing more things locally for them, for the people that you have locally, right? Now, I'm sure a lot of us.
I'm sorry. This triggered the same response in me as Modaire's trim does. That feeling that I don't like this. I don't the salted caramel bone broth. I can't listen. I can't even drink anything salted caramel because of that product. That is something that they put in the reboot kits, which is their 60-hour fast kit that they sell once a month, or I don't know if it's available all the time now, but oh, it's the worst. It ruins salted caramel anything for me. Can't do it. Cannot do it. Ugh.
Us have team members all over the country, but I will say that my strongest team members in terms of people that I know that are ride or die, they are going to come with me, hell or high water. They are just in it. They love Pruvit. They're local. And I think it's because we've created environments for them. Pruvit isn't just this company that hosts Epic in December. Pruvit is not just this company that hosts Keto Academy for them.
Mm. Yeah, they combined salted caramel with bone broth. Also, Mint, thank you for this super chat. I appreciate you, but I'm just having a hard time remembering salted caramel bone broth. Brandy. Oh, I hate it, guys.
Pruvit is not just the team Zooms, right? Pruvit to them is our local group of promoters that get together for just a team barbecue. We just had a team barbecue a month ago. Everyone
cult
just came
meeting.
over and we just grilled out and hung out. That was it. There was no business agenda. There was no, this is a meeting and we have to plan things out. Like, nope, it was just there to hang out. And what that does is a few things.
The face is still the bone broth thing, just in case you're wondering. It's really that bad.
Number one, it's fun.
Oh.
And I feel like there's so much craziness in this world. I am so appreciative for the friendships with my team that I have made. And I love any opportunity that I have to hang out with them. Like, it just makes me feel good in my soul. And so I'm going to find opportunities to do that, right? So it's fun and it feels good. That's number one.
Sounds like
But
a cult.
also, when you give people an opportunity to feel that Pruvit is more
good,
than
Chelsea.
just this company out there, it's every single person, it's this heartbeat and they're a part of it and they feel this community, they feel these friendships. People aren't going anywhere when they feel that. And so when you're thinking,
so what I'm hearing you say is you're having barbecues to indoctrinate people so they don't leave. I mean, you said that with your whole chest too. Maybe you use different words, but you said that with your whole chest. If people feel like they're loved, they won't leave. They will, and they are, because people are figuring out what Pruvit is. And in my opinion, Pruvit's a commercial cult. MLMs in general are a commercial cult. So people are figuring it out and they're leaving regardless of how they feel. They're stepping away, they're asking questions, they're using I totally lost where I was going, but they're asking questions and they're starting to see through the chaos and they're leaving. So I don't think that's working well for you.
about creating stickiness, creating longevity in your team, the more things you can do locally, I think will only benefit you, right?
You think. Yeah. You know why it's going to benefit you as the upline? Because they have to order ketones in order to do these events locally. And who makes money off of that? Oh, you do. Yeah. So it does benefit you. Oh my God. Am I doing that thumb thing? Is this like what? I don't remember what it was. Was it balloons? That was really fun. I don't know if that's going to happen again, but we'll see.
Some other things that we've done, we're actually doing this Thursday, which Thursday is a day for local environments. This Thursday, we're doing a team corn maze and like bonfire thing at a local, like one of those little farms that does, they've got the donuts, they've got the corn maze, they've got the pumpkins, all the stuff. So
Brandy.
wherever you are, like think, okay, it's fall. This is like when all the good stuff is.
Guys. Stop it. It's so gross.
Happening, you guys. You could be doing a team corn maze, a team apple picking thing. If it's cold wherever you are, you could do like a team escape room, right? We've done team vision board parties where we all like the requirement was you like go to Walgreens and get that like giant whiteboard, and we brought a bunch of markers and we straight up were like making vision boards together, and it was just fun. Another really cool thing, this was Kelsey's idea. We did this maybe a year or two ago, maybe 2 years actually, and it was so much fun. We got together around the holidays and we did something as a team to give back. So you know those blankets where they're like felt kind of, and you tie them in little knots at the end? We made a bunch of those as a team to donate to a local hospital.
I think that's pretty cool, actually. I really love that.
I believe for the children's wing of the hospital. So we just made blankets for the hospital together.
That's awesome.
all of these things felt really good to do to get together with, but we were also able to take pictures and talk about how they tied back to Pruvit, right?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine an MLM escape room by company? Like, this room's the Pruvit room. That one is Monet. That one is Optavia. There's like all these things you have to figure out in order to escape the room. Can you guys imagine? That would be insane. Oh my
If it's
God.
just a team barbecue, you can talk about how grateful you are for the friendships that have come from this community. You can talk about how grateful you are for the positive minded people that have totally come in and changed your life. If you're doing some of these other fun things, you can again talk about how grateful you are for your team and that you get to again go to a corn maze and whatever. I'm sure I'll come up with a social media post by the time it's Thursday for that. But even the volunteering one, that was exciting because we got to really anchor in Pruvit's mission to leave people better. And leaving people better is more than just helping them with ketones, right? It's also giving back to our community. It's also doing all those things. So whatever kind of trips your trigger, you get to pick. I would think of all
Whatever kind of trips your trigger. That's an interesting phrase. Trips your trigger. That makes me uncomfortable.
these like a buffet table, and you get to just take what you like. You can leave the rest, right? This is not like a you have to do X, Y, and Z. And even look at that beautiful handbook we have on local environments and start picking out the ones, again, like a buffet table, where you're like, yes, this one is aligned with me, and feel empowered to build up to doing more of them, right? You don't have to jump in and start doing everything all at once, but if you can start with something, I promise that you're going to go further faster than if you don't do anything at all.
You promise? Come
What I
on.
would add to
How can you say that? What if nobody shows up? What if nobody buys a thing out of the people that show up? There's a couple scenarios I can think of where it's not actually going to help people move forward faster unless we're talking about getting out of the MLM because they're spending all this money and not making any. They're buying ketones, they're providing the food, all of that stuff, and then either nobody shows up or nobody buys anything. They're moving forward faster to get out of the commercial cult. So maybe I don't know if that's what she meant, but
is while you're at these events, whether it's a customer event, whether it is the team event, making sure that you're taking pictures and then sending people messages
for
afterwards. So
social
one thing
media.
I like to do
Missed you.
at a customer event is we'll still always take like a group photo of everyone that came to the mixer. Really easy. Before you post it to Facebook, what if you DM'd that picture to every single person that came?
Why?
So
So they can
Katie, who
post
comes
it? So they can post it and tag you in it so you can market to their friends and doorway them to get access to their network? Is that what you're suggesting your team to do? Because gross.
to my mixer gets a private message to me with the photo that she's in. I say, Katie, wanted to make sure you had this picture that we took. Thank you so much for coming. And I can follow up on whatever we maybe talked about, right? Like maybe Katie shared with me that she has some fat loss goals, or maybe she shared with me that she, is going through a lot of fatigue and I know ketones will help her with that energy, right? Like whatever we talked about while she
You know what else helps with energy? Coffee. And it's a heck of a lot cheaper than Pruvit's ketones.
was there. If you take a picture, you now have an opportunity to create another reason to message that person and they feel good. It feels good to get that picture one on one versus just seeing it on social media. Now you're going to post it on social media too, right? But it feels really good for that person to get that from you. They're like, oh, I wasn't just one of the 10 people there. She remembers what we talked about. She appreciates me, right? It gives an opportunity for you to continue that conversation, which is the most important thing is being in conversations with people. The other fun little thing, if you're with your team especially, make some TikToks, make some reels, show how fun this business gets to be. Ultimately, yes, you're building locally when you're doing all of this, but if you do a good job showing what Pruvit is to other people, that attracts people, yes, locally, but from other states, from other countries, right? Like that helps with that ripple.
Yeah, tell people what Pruvit really is. A commercial cult with transactional relationships where the majority of people don't make any money. But if you got in early, I don't know, like her 6 years ago, chances are you're probably making some decent income if you have a massive downline. Why don't you tell them that? Why don't you lead with the income disclosure statement? Why don't you show them that analytical data straight from Pruvit? Oh yeah, because nobody would join if they were aware of that as they were joining. Nobody would join.
So, what I'm going to challenge everybody to do is we already have Thursday set up as our day for local environments. Okay, it's already when we're planning to do things.
What if Thursdays don't work for some of your team members? Are you gonna demand that they do that? That's weird.
But you could also do things on the weekend, whatever you need to do. But my challenge for you is figure out a time that you can either host a keto life party, you can call it whatever you want, keto life party, or some sort of team function in the next week here. And
What if they don't have a team?
again, it gets to be really easy. Don't get in your head and start thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have a banner, I don't have this and this. It's okay. Like those things are wonderful, but also truly to my soul, if you just have yourself there, you got some ketones, you can mix them up. You have everything that you need for that to be successful.
So make sure you order more ketones so you have a couple different flavors so that people can try them.
I promise you. All the other stuff, it just turns it up a notch, right? But
Brandy.
you just need yourself. So that is a challenge for everyone today. I know we're going to get into it more tomorrow on the Power Hour with some specific action steps that we can all take. But I hope that this was valuable. And I hope that everybody is excited about doing some in-person events, whether again it's for customers, for newbies, or for your team, or maybe for all three. And I'm really excited that I got to jump on here and train with you guys today.
You're the best, Abby. Guys, show her some love in the chat. Thank you. I always love your brain. I heard so much. There was a lot there. I hope you all recognize, and also when you watch the replay, realize that there was a lot of valuable steps and actions that we can take just from even seeing what it can look like for our local schedule. Couple things I heard, and I know you guys picked up on this too, and I'm grateful that she made sure to reinforce this. Like, this is not about who can put together the most extravagant event. This is literally about how can we just create opportunities where people can be in front of us and we can get ketones into their mouth, like without force. That's all it really is.
Without force? That's so weird that she just said that.
And
Oh my
something that
God.
I love that she brought up too was like the following up to these events pertaining to people trying ketones is huge. I love the taking the picture idea. That's so good. Even, yes, with our team, but for sure with people that are customers or potential customers or even the guests that come. I love any extra opportunity to follow up with people. And I think the follow-up part of this is also really important. Someone even asked specifically, Abby, actually, if you can unmute for when people are coming to, I might have to ask you too. Yeah. When people come to your events, for one, face to face, what is your method for gathering information for following up, or is it just basically how you invite them is how you're following up, or is there anything specific?
Yeah, I'm truly just, for the most part, I'm connecting with people via Instagram or Facebook, and so wherever I message them is where I would continue messaging them. I'm not gathering anything.
Yeah. So for us,
extra.
so for someone hosting, it's most important that we're being organized. Thank you, by the way. You're the best. I just want to make sure I'm maybe you have some other magical system. But again, I love
No, I'm
no.
truly keeping it simple.
Yeah. And that's what I hear is we just have to be organized enough to know, if you were having a baby shower, you invite people to your baby shower, you keep people keep track of who came to the baby shower so they can send them a thank you card. All we have to do is just keep it simple enough to know that after the fact, we need to follow up with them. Something that you mentioned too, that I think pertain to coupons. how many of us are VIP customers that have these hot $20 coupons every month, but only 3 of them? Like, who wants to be the 4th person in the room that's not getting the $20 coupon when someone says that? You know what I mean? So I also think it's important that we remember this too, that while people are loving them and people are trying them, no matter which way they're doing it, expressing, say, I only have 3 coupons for $20 off. So if you were liking this, I can literally get you a box of it $20 off.
She makes that sound like it's such a deal. These people are still gonna be paying $110 plus shipping and tax for 20 packets of ketones. That's with the $20 off. Otherwise, it would be $130 for a box of 20 plus shipping and tax. So, she's trying to make it sound like, "Oh, this is such a big deal." They're still paying $110 plus shipping and tax for 20 packets of ketones. That is a lot of money.
What do you think about the flavor? And helping people even right then, you could do it with follow-up after, but also like, I mean, if I'm in a room and someone tells me that there's a limited time to save the most amount of money with a coupon, like I get hot for coupons. So I would jump on it, and a lot of other people will. And then if that doesn't work, then we have, or if you use all your $20 coupons by going into, which by the way, I'm curious, how many of you guys know how to create a coupon? Do you know where to go to get coupons? Drop a no in the comments if you do not, so I could just be clear. No. Okay. So for those of all of us have access to coupons right in our Pruvit Pulse. Okay. So as our VIP,
But you have to be a VIP customer, is what she said, as a distributor. If that's not a Freudian slip saying that the distributors are the customers, I don't know what is.
orders personally process our Smart Ship processes, we're earning points. So this is why you need to be a Smart Ship customer as well, because it's also giving you points towards your Smart Ship every month, but it also gives you coupons to offer other people. When you open up, I'm going to mute you quick, Abby. When you open up your Pulse app, you open up the Pruvit Pulse app, you go to actions. At the very top, it says offers, and then it's going to show you what's in stock. This loads up for you with coupons that you have available. We always have the $10 off. That's always available when someone goes to your Shop Keto site, which is your referral code.
$10 off. So $120 before shipping and tax on a box of ketones, 20 packets of ketones.
shopketo.com. That $10 pop off or $10 off will pop up for them. So they always have access at there, but you can also send them a specific link right here by clicking share Blitz link, and that will give them the link when they go. It sets up their name, they create their cloud account or their free account, and gives them $10 off. But also if you swipe over, when you're a VIP, you have the $20 off as well. And that's when they use that earns you 200 points towards your Smart Ship order every month as well. So from there, you can share a Blitz link as well. But you only have 3 of these a month. And that's why you want to jump on that, because you want to help them get the most off. But sometimes we have specials. We have promotions during the month where it will replenish and give you more $20 coupons, which is awesome. But that urgency is there on purpose, because we want people to know that, like, we want them to make a decision. So following up with those coupons, if you didn't do it face-to-face, or if you didn't use all those $20 coupons, it's important to, when you follow up, remind them, say like, hey, okay, 2 of them were used. I only have 1 left. Which flavor did you want? So we can get you set up. That's important.
Oh my God. Chelsea says, wait. You have to be a customer and a rep. So what it sounded like she was talking about was you had to be a VIP, or you had to place a VIP order. And then she referred to earning points off of your Smart Ship orders. I need to dig into that. It's been a while since I've covered this. When they were moving over to this program, the point system and all of that, I remember talking about it. I just don't have it in front of me right now. But the distributors absolutely do run Smart Ship or auto ship orders on their promoter account. And many of them have ghost accounts that are customer accounts, all funded by the distributor. So hopefully that makes sense.
What else? I love, guys, did you catch this? Every time there's a new flavor, and I know Kelsey does this too, she's masterful at it. When the rainbow candy comes out, Kelsey invites any local customer over to come try it. Any of them. And they all come over. It could be 4 of them, 6 of them, however many. They come over. She's got the little cups. They try it. She makes social media content from it, selfies of the whole group. It's super fun. Everyone goes up. I know Abby does this too. I just have Kelsey on my brain because I'm always like, she's so good at that. And then she has all those customers get to try the flavor. They love it. They're bringing a guest with them a lot of the time. They get new people ordering ketones through that. Those coupons are available because they're her customers. So her customers have these coupons too. So she shows them how to offer it to people. And that's how that can ripple as well. But I hope, so are you guys, just please let me know in the chat. I know that there's like, it can feel like there's a lot to do, but that's a blessing. There's a lot of different ways that you can do this. It's more important that you understand that we have to pick something and start. How many people feel?
Katie, how is having a lot to do a blessing? Because you have a lot of options? I'm very confused by that statement.
Confident right now based off the training that they can put something together locally. And I heard someone say my house isn't big enough for it. I feel you. My house, the first time I tried doing Keto Life Party, we literally couldn't fit more than 3 adults in that area, and it was messy. So we had it in my driveway because it was somewhat night, and people literally drove by. They came over, they parked, they tried ketones, they watched Charles be a mess in my yard, and then they rolled off to their next destination. But I love that. We're seeing coffee shops, sip and stroll event. Heather, that was genius. Melissa May is doing these at Mexican restaurants. She's like, oh, you love those chips? Here, have some ketones. It'll make it mean nothing. When she had a tag sale in her driveway a couple weeks ago, she just popped a little table up and had people trying ketones there too. And I was saying, tomorrow night is my son's football game. I'm bringing a ketone shaker with me, and I'm going to have the little cups, and I'm going to ask them to try hibiscus lemonade and tell me what they think of the flavor. Because who's going to drink that and say, nah? They're going to say this is amazing. So I know this is the stuff I drink that always puts me in a good mood. Like, it's such.
It always puts you in a good mood. Always, Katie? Because some of your former team members and some current that have reached out have not said, alleged, however you want to word that you're very nice behind the scenes. So I'm wondering if the ketones are working, because from the sounds of it, you don't sound like you're in a good mood from some of these messages. So that's interesting. Huh.
Just simple conversation, something that we can be doing. And there's so many different ways to do it. So with that, guys, we've got tomorrow night is going to be our power hour. So I know that's going to be led by some amazing leaders who are going to be giving us very tangible steps that we're going to go through. And some of this will also be layered in to be inviting to whatever your Thursday local event is. I'm going to offer out some bonus bragging points right now. Okay. Anyone that does some kind of a pop-up something even before Thursday, do you know if you make something available tomorrow or Wednesday and they say, oh, I can't make it, then you also have Thursday to follow up on, use it to fall back on and say, oh, no big deal, because I was going to do something Thursday as well. Which one works better? But bragging rights, who's going to have 2 things already accomplished today?
Bragging rights? Katie, you're practically begging your team to do these. That's so embarrassing.
By the end of the day on Thursday, who's going to do it? Bree's already got something set up for today at noon, and she'll do something on Thursday. So far Bree's winning, but like, Bree's amazing, but don't let Bree beat you. I bet that you can do it too. I'm going to freaking go for it. I got the game.
And here we have a perfect example of how I have said on multiple videos and live streams that there is an air of competition that is bred throughout the team. This is a perfect example of it right here.
Thursday, and I already bravely texted neighbors like a freak on Saturday who haven't tried ketones. I was told to do it, and I was like, fine, I'll do it. Start texting my neighbors who I've never offered ketones to, and they're like, wait, what are they? So I will be walking around like freaking Santa Claus, making everyone try ketones in my neighborhood. So I will have 2 before the end of the day on Thursday. Katie Lynn Scood's going to whip up a KLP. Pickleball on Wednesday. Missy, please. Everyone. I mean, that's going to be an intense game if you all are hopped up on ketones. But how are we feeling? How are we feeling about going into the local community thought process of, oh, so if I go to my book club and I just ask them to taste this, that's a keto life party? Yes. Yes, it is. The goal is get the ketones into the esophagi, as Chrissy Petty told us, the plural version of it this weekend. She taught us it's esophagi, and it's so simple. So scared as hell and pumped too. Well, guess what? We're all scared and sweaty. So congrats. You're killing it, Michelle. You're already ahead of it. So guys, with that, I just want to remind you, tomorrow we have our call in the evening. The replay for this will be available on that private playlist that Christina put the link in here earlier, but all of that.
Shout out to the replay crew that are watching this on my channel.
If you reach out to leaders, they will get you set up with everything to access the playlist. But I do believe that you should all have it by now. So please make sure that you're checking that for the replays frequently. And then we have tomorrow evening as our power hour. On Wednesday will be calls, same time as today. Thursday is our local events. And then Friday, there will be the live premiere of our podcast interview. So with that, we appreciate you guys.
Podcast interview. I'd like to see that.
Coming on, playing full out. Abby, you're freaking amazing. We appreciate you. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.
Okay, goodbye, Katie. Terrible. Terrible. Did anybody else ask yourself multiple times when the training starts? Because I know I did. That was wild. Anyways, what do we think? How are we feeling? I know Katie was asking that, but how are y'all feeling after that? That was a lot. Legend University. So weird considering only 7 people held that rank in Pruvit in 2022. But, you know, them naming it Legend University is like they're trying to say, we're going to teach you how to be legend. Yeah. The income disclosure called and said, not so much. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think we all want to see the podcast interview. Definitely. I definitely want to see what that's about. Legendary Winded. Oh my God. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for becoming a member, Lavender Rain. And you guys are amazing. Thank you for your commentary. I appreciate y'all so much. And if you have not already liked the video and subscribed, double check that you've done that. I appreciate you. It helps me get the word out to more people. And am I going to be covering Legend University more? Absolutely, I am. Yeah. Love to get my hands on that podcast too. So we'll see if we can get that done. Anyways, you guys have a great evening or whenever you're watching this. I'm going to go have some taco soup with my family. And I hope you guys have a great day tomorrow, whatever you are choosing to do, if you celebrate or don't. And yeah, thanks for being here. I'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody.